Hello and welcome. This is Hena Talati and you are watching Itstomorrow news. A massive iceberg larger than the New York City breaks off the Antarctica. At 490 square miles, the iceberg is bigger than the size of the New York City, which is 302 square miles. The last major chunk to have come off in this area was in early 1970s. According to the statement from the British Antarctic Survey, the chunk of ice is 1,270 square kilometers in size and it broke free in the process of calving. Ice-calving or iceberg calving is the process by which ice blocks break away from the ice shelf or the edge of the glacier. It is the sudden release or breaking away of the mass of the ice. The entry of the ice into the water causes large and often dangerous waves. A crack in the ice shelf widened several hundred meters before it sheared. It was mainly considered as a calving of an iceberg from the burnt ice shelf for years. It caused the sudden release and breaking away of the mass of the ice from glacier, iceberg, ice front or ice shelf. Calving of glaciers is often accompanied by the loud cracking or booming sound before blocks of ice up to the 60 meters high break loose and crash into the water. Calving of ice shelves is usually preceded by a rift. These events are not often observed. Ice shelves are floating sheets connected to a landmass according to the National Snow and Ice Data Center. Since ice is already floating, the new created iceberg won't contribute to the rising sea levels. The glaciological structure of this vast floating ice shelf is complex and the impact of calving events is unpredictable. Calving is an entirely natural process wherever the ice floating on the land meets the ocean or the large lakes. Each year, 10,000 to 15,000 icebergs are calved worldwide, most of them on the small side, according to the Canadian Geographic. The largest iceberg recorded calved off Antarctica was in 2000. That one was about as big as the island of Jamaica. It is considered that over the coming weeks or months, the iceberg may move away or it could run aground and remain close to the burst ice shelf. As huge it is, this iceberg is still a dwarf by the chunk of the ice that broke off Antarctica's Larsen C ice shelf in 2017, which recently threatened to collide with the South Georgia island and is among the largest recorded at 2,240 square miles. Glaciologists have been expecting a large calving effect for at least a decade. The first indication that a glacier would break off was in November when a new gulf named North Rift, the third major crack to become active in the ice shelf in the last 10 years, headed towards the another gulf about 20 miles away. The rift then pushed northeast more than a half mile a day starting in January, cutting through the 490-foot thick ice shelf, scientists said. The iceberg formed when the crack widened on the February 26, releasing it from the ice shelf. During January, the rift pushed northeast up to 0.62 miles per day, cutting through the 492-foot thick floating ice shelf. The phenomena comes almost a decade after the scientists first detected growth of the ice crack in the Antarctica's burnt ice shelf. A glaciologist's job is now to keep a close eye on the situation and assess any potential impact on the present calving on the remaining ice shelf. They continuously review the contingency plans to ensure the safety of the staff and protect the research station. The iceberg was formed when the crack widened several hundred feet in a few hours on Friday morning, finally breaking the free from the rest of the floating ice shelf. The calving is not expected to pose a threat. The research center, which is located on the Brunt ice shelf. Scientists have noticed that the way icebergs break up when they reach warmer waters mirrors the integration of Antarctic ice shelves. Oceanographers also follow icebergs because the cold fresh water they contribute to the sea can influence currents and ocean circulations far away from their origins. Icebergs naturally break off from the Antarctica into the ocean in a process accelerated by the climate change. Let's see some of the significant videos of the icebergs break. That's all for now. For more news updates, stay tuned with us. It's Tomorrow News, Hena Talati. For more weather updates like this, and please subscribe our channel.